What's up, everybody? Hope you all are doing well. Today I'm going to be giving a very quick review of the very beautiful 2023 LEGO Friends set, the 41757, the Botanical Garden. Coming with 1,072 pieces, 3 mini dolls, a lot of plants, a couple insects, and a very nice parts palette. And using my de facto cheat sheet, the 3 mini dolls are Leanne, Nico, and Addie, and they all come from the new generation of the LEGO Friends line. The set is ranked for ages 12 plus, though in every aspect of it does feel like a set that adult fans of LEGO would very well resonate with. A lot of very interesting building techniques take place throughout the set that I would like to highlight briefly in this video. Throughout the model, we see a variety of details on both the exterior and interior that give rise to a lot of play features as well as display features. There are also 12 species that they try to accurately capture using parts from LEGO's palette, and they are all highlighted throughout the building process and in the opening pages of the instruction manual. Some of the more interesting ones are the Nepenthes, which uses musical instruments, and the Rafflesia, which use minifigure shoulder pads to create this shape. Let's kind of take a walking tour of the Botanical Garden. It is just one cohesive model build, and highlight the various features corresponding to those sections. So the model really bookends with this corner of the Botanical Garden building. We start by building this nice little pond which has Nelumbo nucifera plants as well as lily pads made using art palettes. And it ends with this cherry blossom tree that rises up in submodel number 7. It's just knot technique used in this pond is absolutely cleverly done, cleverly executed. We have the fish in clear tiles inside a series of panels that hang over, and using the simple 5:2 ratio, hanging over some hollow studs so that the LEGO logo doesn't make the technique illegal, we have a nice, well-executed clear pond. What I really like about this is the use of these olive green planks acting like pressure-treated wood. This is something that I've considered as a technique for a possible building project, which I will reveal probably someday on this channel. But it would make use of wooden planks, and olive green is a highly considered color for that. The cherry blossom tree makes a nice effective use of a recolor of the 3-leaf plant, as well as the dark pink flowers. There are also some ducks in the set, which add a nice touch. This is honestly probably one of my favorite details and one of the coolest, most colorful that stick out, and kind of a callback to Disney, because I remember seeing something very similar in the Animal Kingdom Rivers of Light. Now, what really surprised me is that this entire lawn is made using bright green LEGO pieces instead of regular green. So a lot of pieces that I've never had in this color I finally got for the first time by obtaining the set. So neat little option for added landscaping work. Submodel number 2 starts to go inside and add some details. The succus and cacti are done in the submodel stage, which uses what appears to be like a pumpkin element in dark tan as one of the succulent element. What I tend to realize is that the egg element, which is shown here in yellowish green, is also used to attach little attachments and accents, such as a star on the top. I didn't realize that the hole on the top of the element when building the LEGO succulent set, which had a ton of these, had any purpose, but sure enough it does. We start to also enjoy this beautiful color palette of white bricks and medium tan plates. And submodel 3, which is the bottom half of this segment, takes it to the other side with a number of plants, and as you can see, Rafflesia, which uses the shoulder pads, is shown here, as well as the Orchidaceae and the Amorphalis titanium plant, which is shown here. And the top of this, which is the Nepenthes, comes a little later, as does these little plants at the top, which I believe are not named in the instruction manual. By submodel 4, we continue the facade work and start to work our way to the top, including the installation of this skylight, which is a nice curved element. And by submodel 5, we actually get to the focal point, which is this huge glass dome. I do have a couple comments I will say about this when I get into the finer details of the review after I go through the tour, so I will hold those for then. By submodel number 6, the trees which have the plumeria plants gets installed down the middle using 2 constructions, and I believe it is here that these exterior plants, including the bonsai, get put in. And by submodel 7, you finish out with this nice cherry blossom tree. Also in the later stages, I believe submodel 7 or somewhere close to it, this nice running fountain gets installed. And this looks like the waterfall that comes out of it. So it creates a nice flow of water back down to the pond that you created earlier. So this model has it all when it comes to inspiration for plant details and beautifying a Lego city or town or village or whatever you aspire to make. So really, it's a fairly detail-packed, maybe not so much action-packed set. Might I say it's absolutely a perfect fit for any adult fan of Lego's city. In fact, the building is full of its own share of techniques, lots of snot on the facade of the entire complex. And the way that they managed to pull off the dome is generally pretty nice. And I say generally because, and this has been a very common issue with the set, that aside from this beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, classy facade, the building is pretty incomplete. And it really kind of hurts when you look at it from this angle. It's really evident. So intuitively, you may want to double out the set. That way you would close out the full circle with the glass domes. And perhaps add more definition to both of these trees by having all the additional foliage. And maybe add an extra section that looks like this, an extra section that looks like that, an extra pond or an expanded pond. So lots of stuff that can come out of that. But you will actually end up with a lot of extra parts that you don't need and a lot of parts missing that you do need. And you kind of see the other friend set that I reviewed in the frame because I'm going to talk about one of them, which happens to be in that set as well. And that is these clear quarter circle windows. So there's only one in the set, and if you want a full coverage, you need at least perhaps 4. Well, at least you get a little help from Andrea's Mansion because you have 2 of those already off the bat. Maybe a little bit more, but I can clearly see 2 in clear. That way you're able to maybe cover 2 of the other corners, and maybe you would brick build the rest. Still some figuring out to do over there. And also, yeah, you'll be needing more door pieces and more sand green windows. And as far as I know, these sand green windows are rather expensive. But I've seen many adult fans of Lego successfully pull this off. And maybe someday I'll try to take on that challenge, or I'll do something else by obtaining multiple copies of this set. Now, as for the build process and the parts in the set, I absolutely cannot complain. There's a lot of good elements that you can just buy this just to part it out, and I would say you'd be pretty happy. Lots of white bricks, white tiles, medium tan color. You get some plates in there too. And of course, the sand green windows. And a lot of the Miami restaurants that I go to and any place with classic architecture makes very good use of these sand green window frames in real life, so it'll actually make it more possible to capture those. And you get to build some iron fencing with the corner of these benches and really just enjoy all the plants and foliage with all these unique styles that you get to add to the cities. And it's evident that some of the plants have that more matte texture, just like this dark red 3-leaf plant here, which suggests to me that they do use some that are made from recycled plant material, the plants from plants. This is a set that I would rather display, but there are a lot of playable items too, like these scissors to make a cut, a book, and a pen that I have out of frame that are used to maybe journal the whole thing or make sketches, cameras to take pictures, selfie sticks as you saw inside, and the pail of water to water the plants. So it's like you have the people enjoying the exhibits and the people working to maintain the exhibits. And the butterflies, which are printed, are quite cool. And I might have a little idea for these just down the line when I start incorporating and mashing up all of these sets into the city building palettes. But all in all, this was a very relaxing, enjoyable build, a very pretty set. Nice to have. I believe every AFOL should have at least a copy or 2 of this set, maybe 4, if you want to really complete out the facade of the building. So I personally recommend it, and for $80, it's a very good value, and if you can get it on a discount or whatever, you are even better off. So that's pretty much it. Not much more to say. Fairly straightforward review process here. And I'd like to thank you guys for checking it out. And if you want to see more content, including all the mocks that I will be building with all of these new pieces, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And while you're at it, feel free to share your thoughts on the set, what you like, what you didn't like about it, or the review, or whatever. and I'll be sure to get back to them soon. Make sure you leave a like while you're at it as well. From HQ, where the building never stops, we're going to hit the bricks, and I'll see you guys next time. This is TE out.